Hey everyone, this is Mo Twister, and you're listening to the Kingdom Podcast with the voice DJ Yuki.
That was the OG, Mo Twister, promoting this podcast. If you like Korean pop culture, or know someone who does, then get into it, and visit our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages at the Kingdom Pod PH.
We're proud to tell you that this is one of the premier shows to go to for your weekly dose of K-pop. So drop everything and listen to the Kingdom Podcast. Available in all your podcast streaming platforms.
Join us!
If you like this episode, please rate the podcast 5 stars, 6 and take it home. This podcast is a member of Bun Collective.
Welcome to your unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. And this is the MTV Show Podcast, a wrestling podcast. Hello, ayan. So, in light of everything what's happening to WWE right now, we're going to start our cold open here on the podcast this week with a really good what if. So, ito, may nag-post sa Twitter, I think it's 9 hours ago, that si SM daw, SM Entertainment, as in the K-pop label. I know Yuki is listening to this and he would love to do or magugustuhan niya tong ideya na to. No? So, si SM daw, SM Entertainment, is wants to be part of the WWE story shit. Ito. So, may pag-usapan natin yun. Tanungin ko nga kayo, kung ibibenta ng WWE yung kanilang shares o yung kanilang company sa isang K-pop, as in K-pop, na walang kinalaman sa wrestling at all. K-pop label, tama bang or proper term ko, o company, sino yung mas pagtitiwalaan nyo? Si SM ba? Si JYP ba? Si Hybe ba? O kaya si YG? O marami pang labels dyan. Ito we're going to do the cold open, really simple. So, personally, I want SM o kaya JYP, no? Kung SM, siguro, we would like to see Roman Reigns do his opa-opa, tapos putang ina mo, may hirit. Hindi ko ma-imagine if that thing would happen. Or maybe JYP doing Jeff Jarrett's tarats. O si JYP maybe, malay mo, no? Nag-wrestle siya bigla. WrestleMania. Tapos, ayun, War Games, ITZY and Twice versus Red Velvet and Espa. That would be a good match. Imagine mo yung siyam na members ng Twice, dagdagan mo pa ng 5 members ng ITZY. Itutumbas mo sa siyam na members ng mga group ng SM. Diba, goals ka doon? Ayun, so anyways, sa mga pupunta ng MOA and Glorieta today and doon sa concert ng weekend, ingat kayo, tangina pa rin ng PBA, pucha. Ayun, so gusto ko ng ganun na stuff. Like, kung hindi man sila maglalaban, I would like to see them perform in any capacity. Maybe singing the national anthem, maybe singing or doing a concert on AEW, WWE Dynamite. Maybe they can do that. Diba? Anything is possible in this fucking world. And kung hindi nga nag-enlist sa military yung BTS, I would like to see BTS too. Seryoso. Kung hindi BTS, magpakatotoo tayo, they can get Le Seraphim, they can get twice. They can get Blackpink too, if they want to. Diba? Or they can get New Jeans. Ayan, popular yan, New Jeans. Sobrang popular niyan, pucha. New Jeans, ayan. Sino pa ba? Yung mga tito at tita. Ayan, Girls' Generation, 21. Kung babalik. Diba? Anything is possible at this point. Parang kahit sino nga pwede bumili. Pero ito, we're going to start clear way. Welcome to the podcast. And on the top of the hour on this podcast, we are going to talk about everything what happened in the recent 24, almost 48 hours. And things are turning ugly as we speak right now. And marami pang parating na baka hindi na masama dito sa episode na to. So let's start the podcast with the official statement Stephanie McMahon released a few days ago. So ito we will read the statement of Stephanie McMahon. Sorry about that. She resigned as co-chairman or co-CEO of the company, and now she's just a fan. So we will read the statement right now, and ayun, continue tayo sa timeline. We're going to discuss the whole timeline here, and sinulat akong timeline. So yeah, let's start with the Stephanie McMahon thing. So dear WWE Universe, almost 8 months ago, wow, 8 months na pala yun. I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have lead what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO and now the CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as the executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. medyo ang cheesy na. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Lebex as Chief Content Officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum values for the shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I had decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on my WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid, a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and the fans, of course, WWE Universe. And I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything, then, now, forever. Together. Ayun, so I read the statement about, sorry about that. I read the statement about the Stephanie McMahon resigning from the WWE, and here's the bad news. So Vince McMahon, you heard that right, on that statement, was elected as the executive chairman of WWE. If you look closely, Nick Khan is now the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of World Wrestling Entertainment. But Vince McMahon is higher than that. So, maraming sunod-sunod na nangyari. Maganda man sa karamihan, maganda rin sa iba. Sa iba, syempre hindi rin maganda sa fans. Kasi marami nagdadalawang isip na baka naman ibenta ni Vince yung company. Baka naman ibenta niya sa Saudi o sa kung saan-saan. Pero we're not going to mention anything kung saan binenta. Kasi wala pang napagbentahan. At hindi madali magbenta, hindi yan isang araw lang na parang candy lang, putya. Hindi yan candy na madaling mabebenta eh. Kasi it's business. May process dyan. Of course, there's a process. So, Vince McMahon was majority elected as the executive chairman of WWE. And Nick Khan is now the sole CEO of the company. Then, sources, ito na nga, nagkalat-kalat na yung mga Reddit, yung mga sources from bodyslam.net, mga balita kay The Zone daw, kay The Zone. Yan, yung mga fake news. Ayan, si SRS, so wala rin kino-confirm. Linawin natin na SRS, Sean Rossap, hindi siya nag-confirm ng kung ano-ano. Tama? Ayan. So, ayan, sila Bodyslam, sila, sino ba to? Si Raj Giri, hindi rin siya nag-confirm as far as I know. Maraming nag-confirm na sources that WWE is now sold to a Saudi government fund, no? Pero ito, so, at lahat yon ay hindi totoo. Linawin na natin, agad-agad. So, Ariel Helwani, so, he released tweets back to back that WWE is not sold and still exploring all options. So I will read the statement here. Contrary to reports stating otherwise last night, there is no deal in place at this precise moment for WWE to be sold to Saudi Arabia's PIF or Public Investment Fund or any entity. Sources say the organization is still exploring all options, I'm told, developing. Worth noting that the original tweet stating it was done deal has been deleted. So ito na nga yung body slam na sinabi niya done deal na daw ito sa PIF ng Saudi. So ayun na nga. Yun na yung final piece. Sa tingin ko, ano na to, pang kalma sa mga alalang-alala, sa mga nag-overreact sa social media about Vince McMahon selling his company up to whatever it is, kung Saudi, kung Disney, kung Contrast, kung NBC, kung Liberty, kung UFC, kung sino-sino pa, kahit si Bongbong, kaya niya rin ibenta yan if you want to. So, ayun lang naman. So, ako, I'm not going to give my commentary yet. Kasi, para lang tayo magko-connect the dots dito. So, kung sasabihin ko na disagree ako sa pagbenta sa Saudi nang hindi pa naman natin nakikita, mawawala ng saysay, sinasabi ko. Para ako nagbigay lang ng ng butas ng walang puntong statement eh. So kung sinabi ko na if ibebenta sa Saudi, kung ibebenta sa Saudi, at hindi naman nabenta sa Saudi, walang sense yung sinabi ko. So hindi muna ako magsasalita about everything what happened. So I'm not going to speak for now, commentary wise, kasi di pa natin alam. Baka magkamali-mali yung pag-connect natin ng dots. Yun, sasabihin ko lang, Stephanie McMahon, I wish you made the best decision of your career. I hope that we can see you around in any ways on WWE or any programming, kahit hindi na as a member of the universe or as a member of the board. No? So ito, ulitin ko, I'm not going to give opinions for now na maliwanag na halimbawa, para lang tayo magko-connect the dots dito eh. Kasi hindi pa tapos, no? Sabi ko nga, hindi pa tapos yung process of selling the company. So, if magko-conclude agad tayo na Saudi na nga yung binentahan at nag-commentary ako dito ng 3 oras, walang saysay. Para lang ako nagsalita sa wala. Diba? Ganun lang yun. So, we're going to wait on the developments. Magmamatsyag pa rin tayo on everything what's going on. And we will give you updates in anyway, no? Platforms, sa podcast, or dito rin, maybe. Ito. Speaking of development, so Vince McMahon was sued by some share stakers. Mali yung pagkano ko. Stock sharers or basta yun, may nagsampa sa kanya ng kaso. Ewan ko kung matatawa ako o matutuwa about this. Kasi kahit naman sa kasuhan niya ng kasuhan si Vince McMahon is once again the chairman. And I'm not laughing because Vince McMahon is chairman once again. I'm not laughing because Vince McMahon is here to ruin our wrestling again. Of course, we don't want to. Pero, as much as they want Vince to fuck off, I would say, let's wait the process. Madali lang naman ang process. Hindi naman yung kagaya dito sa Pilipinas na poke ng 3 taon, nagkakaso pa din. Naalala niyo yung kay Bong Navarro? As far as I know, yung kay Bong Navarro, 6 years na yun eh. Nagkakaso pa din. See? Ayun na. Malaking kalokohan yun. Kaya nga sabi ko, I'm not going to do ranting here habang wala pang complete details on kung sino ba nabentahan, kung sino ba mabibentahan, kung sino ba ang posibleng bentahan. Hindi muna tayo magbibigay ng opinion. Mahirap na. Baka mamaya, sabihin, magbitin-bitin tayo dito, di ba? O maybe, baka mamaya, magkamali tayo ng opinion. O maybe din na, mawalang saysay yung takes na yun. Pero ito sisiguraduhin ko, before we go to our first commercial break, na, the plans according to on that report, hindi ko na sabihin kung sino source yun, na baka daw maging private ang WWE. Sabihin ko na agad, hindi yun totoo. Pero, wala namang masama kung magiging private sila. Diba? Baka totoo na tayo. Diba? Yun lang. Ayoko muna magbigay ng opinion. I don't want, kahit gusto ko, pero, magantayan muna tayo ng developments. Mas magandang sure na tayo. No? Yun lang. So, welcome to the podcast. If you're following the podcast, you know, dapat talaga magre-review tayo ng sandamakmak na matches, New Year's Evil. Of course, we will predict the Hard to Kill pay-per-view mangyayari on Saturday. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. Inuna lang natin tong kay Vince McMahon. So, for now, we're going to take our first commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about everything WWE. And then New Year's Evil. Then, third half, probably, we're going to talk about the recap of the AEW shows and, of course, Hard to Kill pay-per-view. We will predict Hard to Kill on this week's episode of the podcast. So, we will take a commercial break. Let's check our bunkmates here on Bunk Collective.
Picture this. Two guys talking about true crime,
Weird mysteries.
horror stories,
But the conversation is light.
and mostly funny.
And sometimes naughty.
This is Cripsilog.
A Spotify exclusive.
I'm Gideon.
And I'm Glenn, and we're serving huge portions of horror and true crime twice a week.
We'll make sure your cravings are satisfied.
And you'll be begging for more.
Char.
Check us out.
This is Cripsilog, available exclusively on Spotify.
Ayun, welcome back to the podcast. Let's do the recap of everything WWE, alright? So, let's start the recap. Let's do the Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn drama. So, they made Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the Royal Rumble Premium Live event this January 29. And yeah, it's nice to take note that it's their third encounter at the Premium Live event. So masasabi ko lang, okay, it's impressive, it's nice to see KO Roman Reigns third time, but this time it's gonna be a singles match for the undisputed title for Royal Rumble. And can we please finish this fucking match? This fucking feud, please. Anyways, ito. It's good, it's good. So, SmackDown this Friday, Saturday, by the way. We will have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens and Gunter defending the Intercontinental Championship against Braun Strowman. Yeah, we will do that anytime soon. So, ayun. Then, we have here, so Hitro officially turned heel. Si Top Dollar was defeated by Ricochet. Ricochet is entering the Royal Rumble. And then Top Dollar and the rest of the members of Hitro attacked Ricochet. Then, yun. Okay lang, mas bagay talaga silang heels. Pero, ano ko naman dito, hindi kompleto ang Hitro pag wala si Swerve eh. Parang there's a big gap. May malaking gap talaga pag hindi natin nakikita si Swerve eh, di ba? Oo. Then ito na nga, so we have the main event, the Usos defending the tag titles against the Banger Bros. The Banger Bros, you heard that right? Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. So, okay. The match was impressive. I'm not going to say it's great. Hindi ko rin sabihin na maganda. Okay. It's gonna be good. Then, let's go to Raw. Kevin Owens defeated Baron Corbin in a match. Okay. So, yeah, they continued the build for the Royal Rumble. Of course, there's no Roman Reigns on the sideways. Wala pa rin si Roman. Alam niyo naman kung bakit. Hindi ko na kailangan i-explain pa. Then, so we have a tag team turmoil to close Raw. So I have the notes on everything or kung sino-sino yung mga nag-compete. It's so nice to note that wait lang. Saan yung notes ko? Nawala yung notes ko. Fuck. Fuck you. Nawala yung notes ko. So it's so nice to note na Judgment Day is working here as almost a babyface. I love the Dominic Mysterio stuff here. Yeah, it's good. Then let's list the tag teams na nakalaban ng Judgment Day before we go to NXT New Year's Evil. First is the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Yeah, fine. Then the Hurt Business, sila Shelton at saka si Cedric Alexander. Pero although they're not labeling themselves as Hurt Business by now. Si Lashley, by the way, was asked by MVP if they want a Hurt Business reunion. And si MVP, si Lashley, he turned down. Pero sinabi niya na dahil doon sa mga past nila last year, Pero hindi dahil doon, tinurn down niya na yung opinion. Mag-iisip pa siya, magko-consider siya if he will accept the offer. So, it's so nice to see the slow build here. No? Then, Alpha Academy. Okay. Otis is still over as fuck. Then, finally, the Street Profits. At this moment, during the Street Profits match, Finn Balor was replaced by Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, Dominic is improving to me since that New Year stuff nung this Pasko pa nga. Dominic is improving to me. Dominic is keeping me impressed. But it doesn't mean na impressed ako sa kanya. Okay, so yun. That's the list of Judgment Day. Kung sino yung mga tinalo ng Judgment Day for the past few days. Ayun, past few matches doon sa Raw. Ito yung strength talaga ng WWE. Nowadays, their strengths to me is booking this type of matches. And booking this type of matches is their fucking strengths. And it's so nice to see them executing that really well. No? Kahit pangit, pero at least maganda yung execution. Diba? It's so nice to see them doing that. In some period of time. So ito, let's talk about NXT now. Ayun. So let's talk about NXT now. My microphone unfortunately fucking me up today. So NXT New Year's Evil was okay lang. Okay lang. I would say okay lang. I'm not that really impressed on how... Oh shit. Ulitin natin. Ayan. So, New Year's Evil is so nice to note here that this is the start of the road to Vengeance Day. Wait, I'm moving my shit here. Kasi ayoko na umupo. So, it's so nice to note here that New Year's Evil was the start to build Vengeance Day. No? Magandang i-note yun kasi they are starting to build the premium live event. And they built it strong with these two matches was made official for the pay-per-view. Ayan, sorry na naman sa mic ko. I don't know what's up on my microphone lately. So ayun, nagbubutol-butol na naman. So I will repeat. So they are building strong premium live event here. Sana naman Disney Plus ipalabas nyo to. Baka naman. So ayun, let's talk about the world title first. So they put this world title match at the middle of the NXT New Year's Evil second hour. Braun Breaker was defeated by Grayson Waller by count out. So the turnbuckles was broke twice in this whole match. And ayun, Grayson Waller outsmarted Braun Breaker and defeated him by count out. Then after of the NXT broadcast, inannounced ni Shawn Michaels that the title will be defended in a steel cage match on February 4 sa Vengeance Day. Then ayun, we have the recap here. So Dijak defeated Tony D'Angelo. Then Jinder Mahal returned to NXT. Si Veer is not in the building. Apparently namatayan siya ng kamag-anak. So we will send our condolences to Veer. Then Pretty Deadly defeated 3 teams. They're trying to copy-paste what happened on Raw. So defeated the Rockers, the Jobber team, then Edris Enofe and Malik Blade and Briggs and Jensen, plus taking out Gallows. So unfortunately, they lost to Gallows in this last match aggressively. So commentators keeping noting that the gallows is no longer suspended. And ayun, it's so nice to see Gallows back. Sana lang makita na natin si Joe Coffey dito rin sa stable na to. I want to see Joe Coffey rather than the two. No? No offense sa iba, sa mga nanonood ng NXT and looking for the Gallows boys. Pero I want to see Joe Gacy. I want to see Joe Coffey more rather than the two. Going on. So Tiffany Stratton made her return to NXT in a Maala Jericho way. She's still a heel for sure. Then ayun, so sinabi niya na she's not impressed on the roster for the past months na nawala siya on TV. And we will see if may impress din kami sa'yo. Ganun lang yun. Continue tayo with the Battle Royale. There's a Battle Royale who closed the show. And it was won by Toxic Attraction members Gigi Dolin and JC Jane. It's so nice to note here that Toxic Attraction won the Battle Royale, redoing the Batista Cena way. It's so funny to take note about Batista and Cena. Kasi season na eh. Royal Rumble season to eh. It's all about the Royal Rumble. And of course, when we talk about Royal Rumble, we need to emphasize that as well. No? And, ayun, parang wala pa naman nagbubro between JC Jane and Gigi. Pero it's so nice to note pa rin na they're going to fight Roxanne Perez at NXT Vengeance Day for the women's title in a triple threat. So, they're both great wrestlers. Roxanne is a great wrestler, definitely. So, the three of them, I would love to see them together in the ring at the same time. So, it's a fair argument din na we will get this fantastic match at NXT Vengeance Day. So, yeah, that's it for our Vengeance Day and Vengeance Day. For our NXT New Year's Evil thoughts and our WWE thoughts. Let's jump to AEW now. So, hindi na tayo mag-commercial. Mag-commercial tayo after nito. So, let's jump to AEW now. So, we're going to do the recap of AEW Rampage plus Battle of the Belts. I don't know why AEW is so stupid for booking 2-hour Rampage. Maybe 2-hour na Battle of the Belts. I don't know why they're fucking stupid for booking 2 back-to-back shows in one specific night with different names. It's so di ko nga may imagine na para magpapayro pa sila on the second hour. Parang ginawa na nila yung WCW dati. Yun na lang yung kulang, alam mo, na they have 2 shows. And yung WCW dati, they have 2 pyros. 1 on the first hour and 1 on the second hour. Buti nga hindi nila ginagawa to with this kind of set eh. Na we have 2 shows, 2 pyros. It's weird. Ewan ko, but ito kasi, ang nababasa ko kasi, Tony Khan is considering a 2-hour Rampage. Sa ganito pa lang na approach ng Rampage, parang wala na eh. They are prioritizing Dynamite pa din eh. Since yun ang flagship eh, di ba? Regardless, let's do the recap now of the Battle of the Belts. Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson defeated Top Flight tag team match. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter defeated the Renegades tag team match. And Darby Allin defeated Mike Bennett for the TNT title, which he won just on Wednesday on Dynamite last week. Battle of the Belts, The Acclaim defeated Jeff Jarrett, Slapnuts, and Jay Lethal in a no-holds-barred tag team match for the AEW tag titles. Jade Cargill defeated Sky Blue for the women's title. TBS. Ayun, so the OC, Orange Cassidy, defeated Kip Sabian for the All-Atlantic Championship to close Battle of the Belts. Yeah, namang interesting dito, okay. Interesting lang sa akin is how they are running good with Jeff Jarrett na holding the championships. Alam nyo, maganda lang sa akin with this Jeff Jarrett run. Wala siyang walang belts. Wala yung pagiging arrogante niya sa TNA. Pero ang ganda ng flavor ni Jeff Jarrett dito sa kanyang AEW run. I'm impressed. I love it. I want to see more of Jeff Jarrett and eventually down the line, I want to see him become champion. At least TNT o kaya yung tag team, maybe ROH then. Ayun. Let's do Dynamite now. So Dynamite earlier, we have Hangman Adam Page defeating John Moxley in a really good personal shit match. Adam Cole made his return after of injury. So, sinabi niya na it's bad news for the AEW roster that he made his return today here in LA. Jungle Hook defeated the Firm. Di ko pa rin alam talaga bakit Big Bill yung pangalan niya, no? Ni W. Morrissey dito. Like, Impact did a really good job at building Big Bill or W. Morrissey, and now they're going this shit. Then, Bryan Danielson defeated Konosuke Takeshita in a match of the night worthy match. Soraya and Tony Storm was defeated by Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter thanks to Hikaru Shida. So Hikaru Shida brought a candlestick and was attacked Tony Storm to win, no? Then the Rainmaker start like that by Jamie Hayter. Then JS did a fucking promo 9:30 on the clock and they're still fucking promos. Like, we need the time for the main event. Yung main event tumagal lang ng 15 minutes with commercials, and I think lacking of progress of pagmamadali dito sa main event na to. It's just disappointing. No? Siguro dapat pinag-promo nyo na lang backstage yung mga ungas na yun. Mas madali siguro no? Kaysa yung in-ring promo pa na parang mas excited pa yung tao sa main event kaysa sa kanila. It sounds annoying when Tony Khan is booking this type of shit. Then, main event. The Elite defeated Dark Order. Sasabihin ko sana Dark Order. So, the Elite defeated Death Triangle in a Escalera de la Muerte match for the Trios Tag Titles. Ito yung tinatawag nilang Game 7. Ewan ko, naiayamot ako. Every time they're referencing basketball a lot. And knowing Kia Forum is no longer a basketball stadium or arena, it sounds pointless to see the commentators doing those references. Parang ito yung huling beses na nagkaroon ng so they mentioned Pistons and Lakers and sometime 1978 ata yun, hindi ko natanda yung year. They're referencing that. It sounds annoying na parang mas lamang pa yung basketball references dito kaysa that sa especially with their referencing Game 7. Which reminds me of Barangay Ginebra, San Miguel and their obvious scripts as fuck. Oy, Willie Marshall, ayusin mo yung buhay mo. Tanga. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, ayusin niyo yung mga kaya hindi umuunlad ang PBA eh. Pucha na yan eh. Pucha, yung parang ginagawa yung wrestling yung basketball eh. Di ba? Parang ginagago nila yung mga fans. Alam na, nagagaguhan na nga lang tayo, eh, sulitin yun yung panggagago. Ganun lang yun. Ayun, by the way, good luck sa mga babiyahe ng Sunday. Pucha, nagsabay-sabay pa yan. So, Bulacan, then Pasay, there's ITZY concert. It's gonna be a big disaster for our friends. Anyways, yun lang naman. The notable matches from Dynamite earlier was the Hangman Moxley, the Danielson Takeshita match, and of course the main event, the Escalera de la Muerte match. It was pretty good as fuck. I love it. I really, really love how they settled the Game 7 regardless of its unpredictability or predictability way. Medyo business sa akin. So, yeah. It's good pa din to see this action. Ayun. Yun lang naman. So, okay lang sa akin. I'm not surprised on the decision. But, I'm really impressed on the reign of Dark Order. I'm impressed on how they cap off Dark Order. That triangle. Lagi na ako si Dark Order. Si Dark Order. Ano to ba? Lagi na ako si Dark Order eh. Kahit hindi naman Dark Order. Ano ba? Anyways, that's it for our AEW coverage. So, after of this commercial break, we will talk about Impact Hard to Kill na mangyayari this Saturday. This is gonna be massive. Ang weird kasi Impact is doing pay-per-views or on Saturday. It's so weird to see Impact doing Fridays and sticking to Fridays for good. It's so weird. It's so weird. Sa totoo lang, ang weird ito. But yeah, Impact is Impact. Everybody knows that. So yeah, we will make another commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to do the predictions for this year's Impact Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And we will take our last commercial break. Let's check our bunkmates here on Bunk Collective.
I loved you then, I love you now, and I will continue loving you until I can no longer.
You took a part of me until I had nothing left.
The old me had to die so the new me could be reborn.
I didn't deserve that pain. I deserve love, just not from her.
Today, I choose myself.
I wanted to tell you, but you weren't there.
These are the stories that I wish you heard. Streaming weekly episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
Ayun. So, welcome back to the podcast. Ayan. So, in case you missed everything what we discussed earlier, you can go back. So, let's start with the Impact Hard to Kill predictions. Okay. So, di natin mention yung mga kick-off matches. Let's start with the main card. So, Jonathan Gresham versus Eddie Edwards in a one-on-one match. I can see Gresham winning here on this match. Wala na rin namang Honor No More. So, we can expect a really good match regardless of that. Jonathan Gresham was a really good addition to Impact Wrestling. Plus, di ba, si Jordan, yung kanyang asawa, fiancé niya, is champion on Impact as well. Magandang note yun. So then, Rich Swann versus Steve Macklin in the Falls Count Anywhere match in Atlanta. They're calling that way. So yeah. I can see Macklin winning here since they are building Macklin since after a Bound for Glory. So yeah. I would say Steve Macklin. No? Then ayun. Motor City Machine Guns versus Hit and Rhino versus Major Players versus Bullet Club. Ace Austin and Chris Bay for the tag titles in a 4-way elimination match. So I would say it's time for Major Players to win. Pero feeling ko ipapadala muna nila yun hanggang hanggang the next show or pay-per-view. Pero hindi ako sure. For now, I would say it's Motor City Machine Guns. Para lang mas safe, no? Kasi it's their first defense on pay-per-view. So, I would say Motor City Machine Guns. Talaga. First defense nila to on pay-per-view eh. So, yeah. Trey Miguel versus Black Taurus for the X Division title. Trey Miguel. Trey. Then, Diona Purrazzo versus Killer Kelly versus Masha Slamovich versus Taylor Wilde for the number 1 contendership for the Impact Knockouts World title. So, I would love to see Masha winning again, then eventually winning the belt down the line on either Jordan or Mickey James. So, yeah, I would like to see that. So, Masha ako. I would like to see Masha Slamovich. Moose versus Joe Hendry for the Digital Media Championship. So, I would say Moose kasi he needs a object that I think he can So, hindi ako entertained kay Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is a draw on Impact Wrestling. But it's time to give that title serious treatment. So, that's the simplest answer that I would say. So, Moose. Jordan Grace versus Mickey James in a career versus title match. If may balita that Mickey James will leave Impact Wrestling then she will go to WWE or AEW with her wife or husband. I would say Jordan winning this match. Pero if magi-stay naman siya, then I would say Mickey James. Pero may edge ako kay Mickey James winning the title knowing the history of the career versus title matches na nakikita ko. Then, the main event is Josh Alexander defending the Impact World Championship against Bully Ray in a Full Metal Mayhem match for the Impact World title. So, I don't think Bully Ray wins. But, yeah, it will be a great match regardless on who will win. But I would say it's Bully. Bully losing, obviously. So, Josh Alexander, of course. Yeah. So, that's it for our hard to kill predictions. Let me know your thoughts about the whole pay-per-view by following on our social media platforms. We will post a thread or a preview photo before the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view will be televised on Fight TV. Also, update tayo, WWE Network is now officially closed in the Philippines. So, yeah, Fight TV WWE Network is no longer available on our shores. So, kung makikita nyo yan, nakalagay na doon is ipapadiretso ka na sa Disney Plus. And down the line, magdadagdag naman daw si Disney ng panibagong content sa platform nila. Of course, it's still the same. As of today's recording, makikita pa rin natin, wala pa rin pinagbago. And I'm sure that they will air Royal Rumble by January 29 on Disney Plus here in the Philippines. So, with that note, let's do our picks of the week. So, our picks of the week is the men wrestler of the week is Darby Allin. The woman is Mercedes Moné. And the match of the week is Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP US Heavyweight title. So far, ang candidates ko for the match of the week actually is the Takeshita match and the main event, the Escalera de la Muerte match. We will update you down the line on Patreon and Gank kung ano yung magiging final picks ko for the picks of the week. Scores as well for Hard to Kill will be released on Gank and Patreon for free. Yeah, so for free ulit yung ating mga ano doon, mga stuff doon sa Patreon and Gank. So if you want to support the podcast on Patreon and Gank, you can go to our patreon.com/the MTG Show Podcast or ganknow.com/the MTG Show Podcast. And with that note, so let's do our recap. Recap tuloy. So please follow the podcast on social media platforms at the MTG Show Pod. Don't forget to follow on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and on TikTok. One platform at the MTG Show Pod. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/the MTG Show Pod. Don't forget the at kasi may at doon sa unahan. Then you can now donate the podcast and support the podcast on Gank and Patreon, ganknow.com/the MTG Show Pod. As low as $2 a month, you can support the podcast on Gank and Patreon. Yes, it's $2 now kasi $2 na daw, sabi ng Gank. So, it's now $2. If you want to support the podcast on Gank, you can support it on our platforms, Gank and Patreon. So yan, may mga content naman tayo doon. You can join our Discord. By the way, Discord server natin is back. If you want to join, then ilalagay ko na lang yung link on our description. For more podcasts, of course, please support all of our Bong Collective podcasts on Bong Collective Bong mali na yung sinasabi ko. thebongph.com. Visit our website. Then, you can support us on all of the social media platforms at The Bong PH. Ayan. So, baka mag-stutter na naman ako. So, ulitin natin. So, you can visit our website at thebongph.com. Then, yung ating social media platforms at The Bong PH. Join our Discord server, dsc.gg/bonk for The Bong Collective server. Then, yung link for our podcast Discord server will be on the description below. The podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and the rest of the podcast platforms. If you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this podcast. And don't forget to rate the podcast 5 stars, 6 in Tokyo Dome. All of the links will be uploaded as well on our linktr, linktr.ee/the MTG Show Podcast. And follow me on all of the social media platforms at Pinera. And please support MWF on Gang katatapos lang ng kanilang final episode for MWF Noche Buena with the main event Fabio Makisig versus Jake De Leon, MWF Tyro on the line. Then, FPW, please support FPW as well on their shows and World Underground Wrestling on whatever they're doing on their company. So, in behalf of DJ Yuki of the Kingdom Podcast, everyone in the Bong Collective, and yours truly, this has been the episode number 144 of the MTA Show Podcast in cooperation with Bong Collective. So, yeah, goodbye. Stay safe, stay Raso. We're out. Bye-bye. Fuck it. Fuck it.